update. I'm Cassi.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina.
And those voices are brought to you by the TikTok I shared of a Am I the Asshole?
Yeah, okay. So we got to talk about this. Cassi shared this Am I the Asshole? Where the question was, am I the asshole for refusing to go to my sister's wedding because my husband isn't invited? And immediately my first thought is, well, what did he do?
Yeah,
right.
100.
Because it's like you don't uninvite your brother-in-law to your wedding unless he's done something, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay,
right.
well, obviously we need context. Cassi, do you want to tell it? Or do you want
No,
me to
go
tell
for
it?
it.
Okay. She goes on to say that her husband has a kink where he likes to pee himself in public and specifically at family gatherings. So on more than one occasion during a family gathering, he will stand up and be like, oh, I pissed my pants.
Oops-a-daisy.
Whoopsies. And this grown woman carries like she has a fucking toddler. She carries an extra pair of underwear and pants in her bag with her everywhere she goes so that he can change. He doesn't even bring his own underwear and pants. She carries it for him. Again, like he's a little kid.
Yeah.
So that he can go
Like
change
a dye bag.
his
Bag.
pants. And he's told she's like, of course, we don't want to admit that he has a kink. So she's told her family that he has a medical condition that causes him to be incontinent.
But also announces when he pees himself. Announces it. Who in the right? If you have a problem with incontinence, the last thing you're doing, you're so embarrassed. You're probably trying to hide the fact that happened. You're not announcing it.
Yeah.
And she's told them that he refuses to wear Depends or adult diapers because he's ashamed or embarrassed that he needs them.
So you'd rather piss your pants and change? Yeah, no. And also, this is infuriating to me. It's something that we've talked about a number of times before. We won't yuck anyone's yum. You're entitled to your kinks. But what you're not entitled to is making everyone else deal with it without their knowledge or consent, any of that. Yeah. You are not entitled to that. And if you can't control yourself and you have to do that and you have to do it at family
therapy.
function,
Seek
therapy.
Help.
Thank you.
Yeah, no.
Thank you.
Because she goes on to say as far as my sister knows, this is a medical condition and it's so unfair for her to exclude him from the wedding because he has a medical condition. And the sister's like, well, he's choosing not to wear diapers and I don't want my wedding to be disrupted because he will stand up in the middle of it and say that he pissed his fucking pants.
Right.
And the other thing that really got me about that story was the wife being like, well, we're all imperfect and I'm always going to choose my partner over my sister or over my family or whatever. And it's just like, dude, yes, of course you want to accept your partner with their flaws, all of that stuff. But you also want to make sure that they are being
this
healthy,
isn't a flaw.
Respectful.
Yeah. This isn't
you should encourage them to get therapy.
Yeah,
if they
enabling
really cannot, they can't control their urges, even at an important family gathering. You need to help them get help.
Yeah, you're not invited to my wedding either.
Them.
And now it's gotten to a point where it's dividing family members and everything like that, and you're still sticking to your gut. The husband didn't offer any support, be like, you know what, I fucking promise I won't do it at this wedding, or I will wear a diaper or whatever. His
problem's
so
everyone's.
Angry.
Yeah, his problem is everyone's because it's his fetish. Okay.
Right. And she goes on to say he was so upset because he knows he can't help it. And I'm like, okay, so he's not trying. He's not at all trying to help himself in this situation.
He can have self-control. I'm sorry. People have
and
fetishes.
If you can't, what is wrong with you?
People have foot fetishes. But if you started sucking somebody's toes at my fucking wedding, we're going to have a fucking problem. Like, that's fucking weird. Like,
Yeah. And
you know,
truly, like, if you're like, oh, I'm bummed, I can't control this, go get help.
Exactly.
That is a fucking issue. That is an issue.
Just imagine missing your sister's wedding. Like,
it could not be me. First and foremost. Like, that's not a fetish I'd like to participate in, specifically because it seems designed to embarrass himself and her at family functions. That is, I don't even want to unpack the why around that, because that seems
there's something
like,
deeply seated into that. I mean, who, I'm not therapists, who can even say, but there's definitely some deep seated core to this.
Yeah,
kink.
I think,
I mean,
you know, people are so afraid to kink shame, which of course we're not doing. Like, we're not kink shaming anyone. Again, like, have your kinks, but it's like anything else that's sexual, right? Where it's like, you're not just going to start fucking in the middle of somebody's wedding either.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if it is something that is a kink for you that gets you off sexually, doing it in public with other, like, again, like you said, with
unwilling
people
participants
who did not consent to be involved in your sex act. Like, it's not okay. If you were just, you couldn't help yourself and you just had to fuck in public all the time, you would need to go get help for that.
Yeah.
So you need to go get help for this.
Yeah, and fucking in public is a kink, but most people who quote unquote fuck in public are also doing it kind of where people can't see
covertly.
them.
Yeah.
Like, it's the thrill of maybe getting caught, right? Like, if you're fucking in public, you're going to fucking prison, like, indecent exposure. Like, come on. Because you are involving people who have no business, like, being involved in your kink.
We never talked about this because it happened during our break. But speaking of that, like, everyone has lost their minds. What was going on this summer where people were just like fucking in public?
I don't know about this. What?
Stuff?
Yeah.
There was a couple who were having sex on a plane.
Oh,
like on a plane. And people were like, hey, also, like, I don't want to see this, but also my kid is watching you guys fuck. Like, could you stop doing that? Like, this is so fucking uncomfortable.
That's so gross, dude.
Also, I barely want to sit on the plane.
100%.
Let alone, God, planes are disgusting. Dude.
Yeah. Now I have to worry about cum stains.
Oh, God.
On my plane seat.
On my American flight. No. This country. What is happening?
I don't know. And then there was the couple in Central Park that also happened this year, where they were in Central Park underneath a blanket. Like, it was a cloak of invisibility or some shit. Just like, everyone knows what you're doing. Everyone knows what you're doing.
Oh, that's weird. That blanket's going up and down. I wonder what's happening.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Oh my God.
Just nothing matters. We're fully off script.
No.
Yeah. This place is so ghetto. Right?
The earth, you mean?
Yeah. Dude, honestly, if like another intelligent race is like watching this has got to be like their TLC
We're the
channel.
Jersey Shore. Yeah, we're the Jersey Shore to them. Like, they're like, what?
They're like, oh my God,
On
look,
this
let's
season
turn
of
on
Earth.
Yeah, my show is on. Shh.
Oh, look at what these idiots are doing now. Oh God.
I've never been so uninterested in flying in my whole life.
Honestly.
Shit's so fucking weird, dude.
It really is.
Ugh.
It really is.
Just being out it's a trip, because I did go out last weekend. And it's just, being around people is so strange. It was my friend's birthday. So we went to the Laugh Factory first, and we got there, we got in line. We had just gotten regular tickets, but they came over and they were like, do you guys want to go in first? And I was like, yeah, awesome. So, and they put us right in the front row. So we were in the front row. We got heckled all night, but that was fun. But there were these guys, two like really good looking guys, who were also in the front row, kind of like just down a little ways from us. And these guys were on their phones.
Oh,
They're in the front row and they are on their phones
So fucking
the
rude.
entire fucking time. They were finance guys
of course.
Yeah.
on their phones the whole time. And I was just like, what? You're at a comedy show.
Yeah.
What is
Why are you
wrong
here?
with people?
You don't have to be here. Nobody forced
You don't
you to
have
come
be
here.
It's
You could-
just so rude.
You could have stayed at home and been on your phone.
Yeah. I don't know. People, it's chaos out there. It's the wild, wild west.
Yeah. No, it's, these days with everything going on and everything, I do find myself like, is it safe to go out? Like there's fucking army in the streets. Like what is happening?
I don't know.
It's,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it almost feels like Roaring 20s Chicago, where it's just like, is it safe to go out? Probably not.
Yeah.
But we got to do something to escape this like looming dread everybody feels. So if we need to go dancing and have some shots of whiskey, then so be it.
Yep. The Charleston and some bathtub whiskey.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing as the world burns. Oh my gosh. So the answer to the question, are you the asshole for refusing to attend your sister's wedding because she won't? Yes,
Yes,
you are.
You are.
You are. You're the asshole. You're enabling your husband and you're creating a wedge within your family. So yes is the answer.
Okay. Fuck, marry, kill.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of more of a would you rather. Okay. But someone who has a foot fetish,
Mm-hmm.
someone who has a somebody else come up with another fetish.
I think public sex.
Public sex fetish. Okay.
Doing it in public.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let me Google some.
BDSM. I mean, we
Some
can go with kind of a classic.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah.
All
Fuck,
right.
marry, kill.
So fuck, marry, kill, public sex, or public fetish guy, foot fetish guy, or BDSM. Now, question about BDSM: are we going dominant or submissive, or dealer's choice?
Dealer's choice and all consenting across the board.
Cool.
Okay. So for me, I'm more of a submissive type.
Mm-hmm.
I can swing both ways, but I prefer. So I would pick a dominant person, all consenting across the board. I'm gonna marry that guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna marry that guy because when you are in, like, as far as I know, I'm not in that community, but it is something that I'm just like, yeah, I like a little bit of, you know. So I feel like in that community, if it's done really respectfully, that
And
those
properly.
people are good. Yeah, properly. Those people are good communicators in general.
Yeah.
Communicate
Yeah.
their needs pretty well. If you are doing it right, it does stay in the bedroom. I mean, or between you. If it's not in the bedroom and you're out in public, you're not making it everyone else's problem. You're, you know, maybe you're texting dirty stuff from across the table or asking them to do things or whatever. But it stays between you in general, or you bring in parties that are also consenting, which is fine. So yeah, I'm going to marry that guy. I am going to fuck sex in public guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think I have pretty nice feet. So, and it does seem like it would require, but I wouldn't be sexually satisfied with that. I think
That's
it
true.
wouldn't, it
Me
wouldn't
too.
require a lot of like effort on my part. If you want to fuck my feet or whatever, that's your business. But I wouldn't
But
get
it's
anything
not
out
doing
of it.
it's
Yeah.
not doing anything for me. Yeah.
I'd be happy it's doing something for you, but it's not like doing anything for me.
I mean, maybe it would be a lot of really good foot rubs, though.
Oh.
And a good foot rub is
Ooh.
fucking nice.
Yeah.
So,
That's true.
geez, remember that. It might
Yep.
not like sexually get you off, but
Yeah.
a
Remember
foot rub
that.
feels motherfucking good.
That's right. Don't be
You're very
tickling or
right.
nothing.
You're right. And it would just be kind of like a relaxing. And some nights, you know, you don't like, you're like, yeah, we can have sex, but like you're not like super enthusiastic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess on a night like that where I'd be like, you want to just do the feet,
do the foot
and then
thing?
you can
It's
just
fine.
like kick back, watch
Yeah.
some TikToks, enjoy a
And
nice
he's
foot
like
rub.
rubbing your feet and being like, and you're like, this is
Okay,
fine.
great.
All right.
Yeah, he's oiling it up or
Get
whatever.
busy.
Yeah.
It's great.
Do it,
My
lady.
feet
Yeah.
smell good now. Smell like lavender.
Yeah. Versus like public sex.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, that's like a whole thing. Like,
But it's
you
just
gotta,
it's just a fuck, right? So I'm like, I'm not marrying public
that's
sex
true.
guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like, and again, what you said, Cassie, I've had sex, quote unquote, in public,
Right.
But not in public, right? Like
Right.
you're not around people. You're
Yeah.
just not in your house.
Exactly. Outside sex.
So yeah, so I'm like
Out
that
of
to
doors
me would be.
sex.
I'm not interested.
You
yeah,
could
I'm
get
not
caught,
interested in
but-
getting into the as we talked about on the shorty. I'm not interested in getting into the Burning Man orgy tent. Like that's not it. It's just like you're fucking outside in the woods
Yeah.
or something. Fine. Yeah, and that can be exciting, like that you could get caught or whatever. So for once, and if it's somebody you're really attracted to, and it's like hot and heavy, we have to have sex right now. Fine. That sounds like a good time. So yeah, I'm gonna fuck public sex guy, and then nothing against
Yeah.
foot guy.
Yeah.
Just
but you're
does
not going to
nothing for
friend
me.
him.
No, like no, I have no interest in being buddies. You're probably perfectly nice.
Yeah.
I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to marry foot guy because I have kind of weird feet. So I feel like it'll be like kind of like different for
Yeah,
that person. I mean, you're
Yeah.
not going to find feet like mine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
special
One of a
feet
kind.
just for you, baby.
Special feet.
Just for you, baby. And
my God.
I do love. I love nothing more than a foot rub. I mean, minus a good facial. Like let's not
What?
sexualize that. But like, but like, yeah, no, you know what I mean.
What have any of you? Do you feel comfortable saying? Have
I would
any
feel
of you
comfortable saying, but I haven't. In fact,
Had your-
of the
your
three,
feet?
this is the one I haven't had.
Yeah, me
So-
neither. True. Yeah. So
Yeah.
because I wonder what it feels like. I bet it does
Listen,
feel pretty good.
I'm into
What are you
it.
talking about?
I won't
Having your feet, having a
Oh.
dick between your feet.
listen.
Oh, no, I haven't had that.
I
Shockingly.
wouldn't mind someone worshiping my feet is what I'm saying. And I
Yeah.
feel like the shoe game that this man is going to put
Oh,
on me.
true. Oh, I didn't even think about
actually-
that.
He's going to shower me
Yeah.
in shoes.
Dude, and also like I'm like a little bit weird about my feet. It may actually heal something.
There you
in
go.
me to have somebody, you know what?
Yeah.
Like be like, no, your feet are so beautiful. And then like your feet
yeah.
are perfect.
Yeah.
I'd be like, really?
Same. Same.
I've
Oh my
always
God, my
thought they were ugly.
Oh,
Same.
you guys, you're
Same.
making. Maybe I do want to be friends with
Okay.
that guy.
I don't
actually.
I don't know if I want to be friends with him, but I'm going to marry him. So I'm going to fuck BDSM guy because of the three.
Yeah, of course.
The ones that I have done. That was that one pops up in the noggin for some fun refresh every now and again, and still gives.
And you're going with like a dom
Oh.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
I there's part of me as an Aries, I think that would really like the control game, but I also really love getting off. So
I think people who don't know you would think that you would be more dominant, but I know you, so I'm like, yes. And same, I'm like, I'd rather be submissive for sure.
yeah, been in that situation. Because of who I am, I belong in a sub position. Like I need to be put back in my fucking place.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of the bratty sub who needs to be like
Oh.
put back in my place and shut your fucking mouth. Okay. Make me.
Oh.
Are you going to be friends with public sex guy? Probably not.
No, I mean, yeah, we'll stick to the FMK today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really struggling.
Okay. Work it out.
choose.
Work it out. Let's see.
Yeah. Talk it through.
I think I need to keep it spicy. I think I would get bored with foot guy for marriage.
Okay.
So
Because
I
there's a lot of
do-
things you can do with BDSM. So many
That's
A
avenues.
right.
lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot. True.
And
That keeps it spicy.
Yeah, I need innovation. I need to
You
not
come
get
home,
stuck
there's
in
a whole
rut.
pulley system set up in
Yeah.
the bedroom.
Yeah,
Swing.
I like
Yeah.
toys. I like games, and it just keeps it fresh.
Yeah.
Keeps it. And I do think, there's got to be such a level of communication with a BDSM situation, and communication is my number one thing. So I think I got to marry BDSM.
Okay. Makes sense. And also as a sub. Okay.
Yeah. I mean that's just makes sense. I'm like such a control freak in every aspect of my life.
Exactly.
Like,
You're
of
like
course.
that CEO type that wants to go and get stepped on by stiletto heels in his off time. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
yeah.
And then for a one night stand, I gotta say, it's got to be public sex
Yeah.
for
Okay.
me.
Okay.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like a foot rub feels great. It's amazing. It'll put me right to sleep and everything. But
Yes.
if I'm having a one night stand,
A one
it's got to be
stand.
public sex. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, against a wall in an alley somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
The maybe getting caught. Yeah. I have a.
Yeah. I had sex in a stairwell one time.
Balcony in Waikiki.
Oh, nice.
Backyard
Yeah.
in the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. The good old days.
Seriously.
Oh, God.
Not my backyard either. Like his mom's backyard. But no,
Oh,
whatever. Like,
Jesus
Ooh.
Christ.
I know.
All right.
How fun.
And I do love rain.
This is going to be really fun to find the images for Instagram.
Especially since the title so far is Special Feet.
Well, we do have a new patron. I want to give a big worsty welcome to Vinny and Nina, a double patron.
Yeah.
two for one.
Twofer.
Thank you so much for joining us on Patreon. We are so excited to have you. If you have any suggestions on movies we want to watch or movies we want to watch, if you have suggestions about that, or Fuck, Marry, Kills or Tainted Loves or anything else, please don't hesitate to reach out. We always love hearing from you.
Yeah. And next month we're watching Seeking a Friend for the End of the World,
Yeah.
which seems appropriate. So
Exactly.
just in the nick of time.
Yep.
Well, you guys want to take 5 and then come back with stories?
Sounds good.
Yes.
Cool.
And we're back. Okay, I have the Tainted Love this week, so I will kick us off with stories. This one is really more of like a conversation. So I'm going to read it and then we can talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I thought we were hitting things off. There was a good vibe, great eye contact. He was asking me questions and commenting on little things about me, and it felt cute. Then he got a text. His phone buzzed on the table, and when he looked at it, his face changed. I have to take this, he said. Okay, I said, and he went outside. I could see him out the front of the restaurant, pacing back and forth on the phone. It felt like he was out there for ages. I finished an entire glass of wine while he was gone.
Wow.
When he came back, he told me he had an emergency and had to leave. I couldn't believe it. My stomach dropped. Part of me thought that maybe it was staged. He was having a bad time and had his friend call him so that he had an exit. I later found out through mutual friends that it was his ex crying and saying that she was having second thoughts about their breakup and was freaking out that she'd lost him forever. So he'd fled the scene, our date, and back to her. I guess there's part of me that thinks what he did was romantic. If I was her, I would have been swooning. But it caused a lot of self-doubt in me sitting at that restaurant alone, and I just wish he'd communicated what was going on at the time. He'd had chances in the week leading up to our date to tell me things were complicated with his ex. It feels like lots of people want to have their cake and eat it too, go on dates while still figuring out other relationships. Get someone to open up to you, but not want to open up themselves. It just feels a little unfair. I want people to be honest and true to their word. That would be so nice and make dating so much easier. Mm-hmm. So this was triggering for me because I feel like I've been in situations like this, and I think she's right. I understand wanting to like date and move on if you feel like, but this really speaks to the fact that like you should not be, if you are not ready to be out there, don't be out there. Don't be making your situation other people's problems.
Right.
And also, like, it is so rude. If you need to take that call, if it's that important to you that you need to take that call, you need to leaving somebody in a restaurant by themselves for 20 minutes, however long it took her to finish a glass of wine so that you can go outside and talk to your ex and then leave the date is so fucking rude. It's so hurtful to the other person. It is just
and
so
it's not romantic.
disrespectful of the other person's feelings.
It's not romantic.
Yeah.
It feels like a control move, to be fair. Like either she's trying to control like this like breakup or whatever, and I'm like, you're clearly not over whatever that was. Why are you even dating right now? Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like what are you doing?
You have to know yourself well enough. And if that was the case, then you go back and you say, I thought I was ready to date, but I'm not.
Yeah.
So like, unfortunately, like it's not you. I've had a great time, but like, this isn't going to work out.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I just think you have to communicate better than that, because this is the kind of thing that makes people not want to fuck with dating anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, it's so exhausting.
Yeah. For
Devil's
sure.
advocate.
Okay.
There could be some situations where you're maybe not as in tune with yourself as you should be. You
Sure.
think you're ready to be out there.
Okay. True.
You know what I mean? And then something like that text happens and it's just like your stomach drops.
There
You're
is a
like,
wrench.
Wait, what? Like,
Right.
this isn't something I
Absolutely.
thought was possible. Like, I thought this was a closed door, like that kind of thing. But
you still
on his
communicate,
return,
though.
yeah, exactly.
Like,
He
that's
should
my
have
thing.
communicated.
Because of course you don't know all the time, and maybe she's the one who ended it, and he was trying to get back on the horse, and
Sure.
didn't know that getting back with her was an option. And in that case, like, that happens to the best of us. I understand that, but you don't leave your date. It's just disrespectful to the person you're with to just like leave them for that. Like, if you feel like you need to go, you should communicate that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I would never leave someone inside. It would give me so much anxiety to leave somebody in a restaurant
hanging.
alone
Yeah.
on a date.
Yeah, the only thing that would be acceptable would be like, oh, my brother got into a car accident. Or,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
then it's like an accident.
But in which case, I'm
or-
not standing outside talking on the phone for half an hour. If my
Yeah.
brother's in a car accident, I'm
have to
coming back
go.
inside and I'm saying,
That's-
my brother's in a car accident. I'm going to the hospital.
Right.
That's
you know?
true. That's
Like-
true. That's true. Yeah, there's not really anything that's like, I've got to take a phone call.
Yeah.
Maybe like a work emergency or
Yeah.
something. But
and even
still,
then, that's a red flag for me. Like, you really can't let work go for one date. To me, that's a red flag. You,
Yeah,
Christina's
sorry.
Christina.
Oops.
Are you
just
even
would feel
serious
so
about me,
low
Christina?
If like I was interested in someone, like it would hit my self-esteem if I was
Yeah.
interested in somebody and we were having a really good time and I thought we were connecting and
Sure.
like maybe this would be going somewhere. They spoke for a whole week before the date. Like you get excited about someone,
Yeah.
and then to know that whole time he's outside making up with his girlfriend and like left the date to go be with her, it would just feel bad.
This is why people are dating ChatGPT.
I mean, you know what? Starting to get it. Starting to get it.
you know what? Actually, you know.
How good
No.
can it get at sexting? Because
Yeah.
I can
Huh?
make it work.
I think it can.
Honest-
I bet it can.
Honestly, like last night, Eric and I were watching one of the Alien movies. I'm unsure of which one, but it was the one that had double Fassbender in it.
Oh, yeah, Prometheus.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then at one point, like Fassbender kissed a Fassbender.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
And you were like, oh. Didn't know I was.
and I
Okay.
was like, so if Robot Fassbender could be equipped with like a Chat GPT, I'm like,
You're starting to get it?
Yeah.
Starting
get
to
it.
appeal to you?
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm not saying I would get it, but I understand. Is
Yeah.
what I'm
Okay,
saying.
Yeah.
question. In Prometheus, there's like good Fassbender and bad It's like evil twin.
Yeah, Walter and David.
Yeah. Are
Yeah.
you a David or a Walt? Like,
I don't know which one's which.
Okay, so David is a little homicidal.
Okay.
Okay. Also, kind of hates humanity, which relatable.
Very paternal.
Yeah, yeah, true. And then Walter is a little bit more. He is built to serve the humans. He's not gonna hurt anybody. You know, he's very, very helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are you going more submissive fastbender or dominant fastbender? But if you go dominant fastbender, you do run the risk of him murdering you.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
David's got
I'm a little more
purpose.
homicidal anyway, too. I feel like I can protect myself.
Also, I mean, humanity at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of get where he's
it.
coming from. You know?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay.
All right. Road trip. A 5-hour trip from New Orleans to Florida, where we were all going to have a weekend at a rented out hotel, along with a formal dance and all that good stuff. It was a fraternity event. She was the roommate and sorority sister of my best friend's girlfriend. I had met her once before. She seemed nice. Buddy and his girlfriend were in the car as well, and he drove. On the drive there, she got so intoxicated, she had to throw up 2 hours into the drive.
Ooh.
My buddy
On the drive?
Yes. So open container.
Okay.
Obviously. My buddy thought she was kidding and decided not to stop, told her to roll down a window. She did
Never
not.
assume someone is kidding about needing to throw up.
No.
Just keep it on the
Assume.
safe
People
side.
aren't just saying, assume that they're being
Truthful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. She did not. She instead elected to puke in a 44-ounce soda cup we had in the back seat. Buddy was so shocked he stopped the car on the highway. She opened the door and dumped it out.
Yeah.
No. Oh.
And then 10 minutes later, made a new mixed drink in the vomit
No,
cup
you-
and drank it.
Gotta be fucking kidding me.
Christina.
Christina.
This is rivaling tampon in the cup holder. You know, like what? Oh my God.
How dare you?
And drank it. Another hour
Did
into
she
the
rinse
trip.
it out?
Where? On the side of the fucking, what, the 10? Like, no.
Ew.
Another hour into the trip, she said she had to use the bathroom. My buddy immediately went to pull over at the nearest exit. Right near the exit was a church. So we pulled into the parking lot, assuming she would go inside and
Christina.
use the facility.
No.
She chose instead to go behind the church and do number 1 and number 2.
Shut your fucking mouth. Shut your mouth.
No. Ma'am.
This is a person who was not, whatever excess shame I have, I got it from this person. Like they gave me all of their shame.
Yeah, none
and
for
they
themselves.
have none for themselves. I cannot imagine. Like I would never be. She
Were
got
you
back
raised
into a
by
car
wolves?
with these people. I would never be able to look them in the eye again. Are you kidding me? And now who is sitting next to her? You're having to sit next to her. She smells vaguely of vomit and shit.
Oh God.
Just what?
Goblin. What an absolute fucking goblin of a human. Jesus Christ. Oh my God, you shat behind a church. Yes, all sans toilet paper.
Oh.
Got back in the car, made it to the hotel. She walked in the room, and crashed on the bed, and passed out.
No, you need a shower,
immediately.
100%.
Ma'am, you need a shower and a toothbrush.
But not before puking on the bed. The same bed I was supposed to sleep in.
Christina. No, you put another hotel room on a credit card. We are done. I'm not
On her credit
staying
card.
in a room with that person.
No. Tangent. My buddy decided to break up with the other girl the next night.
No.
Oh,
All
no.
in all,
Shit.
made for a terribly uncomfortable 5-hour drive back.
What are you doing, sir? Break up when you get home. I do not want to be involved in this car ride.
Are just raised in a barn. Like, what's
wrong with you?
You need new friends, sir. Holy shit.
Sweating,
I
you guys.
have
This is
never been a
bonkers.
part of a fraternity or a sorority, but this
No.
feels fucking extreme. Again, just the X.
just the
Extreme.
No E on the beginning.
E. This
Yikes.
is extreme behavior. Like, Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Wow.
Hate that.
I wonder if, that person is just like, I don't know, like working at a marketing firm now.
Truly.
You know?
Yeah.
Just like
They came
in
up
the
with the
middle of
Sydney Sweeney ad.
typing and in the middle of typing an email, just suddenly like
Shows.
flash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
She's probably like somebody's mom now.
Totally.
Oh,
Oh
God.
my God.
Ugh.
Wow. To shit behind a
No,
church.
I'm so sorry. Imagine you show up like Sunday school.
No,
There's just a
come
pile
on.
of human shit.
You guys, that's awful.
Oh my God.
Ugh.
I didn't do it.
No.
Oh man. She's going to have to explain that to Jesus someday.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Jesus just looking disapprovingly when she makes it up there. Just
Just with
like
his arms
everything
crossed in front
everything
of him.
else looks good, but
yeah, you know what you did.
you know what you did.
You know that summer of
I hope she got her life right. I
Oh.
really do.
Listen, I mean, I've been a goblin at times. I've had goblin phases.
We've had goblin
That
I'm
bad,
not
though?
better.
no.
That bad.
No.
Never
like,
shit.
Never drink
shit.
out of a cup that you threw up in.
Oh
No.
Are you?
And I'm not
No.
tampon in the cup holder either. So
That's actually so fucking gross and disrespectful. I can't get over it.
Yeah.
I
The
still can't.
tampon. That
That's
is so fucking
And
disgusting.
then sticking your tampon hand in a bag of shared chips. Just, what are you doing?
Fuck you.
What are you doing?
Fuck you. It's so awful. Oh,
my
well,
God,
mine's
yeah.
gonna almost seem tame compared to that then, but it is. It's a bit more. It's a bit of more garbage behavior. Met a girl online, Rachel. We messaged a little bit, met up for drinks, and hit it off. A week later, time for our real first date. She invited me over, said she was going to make me dinner, and we'll see what happens from there. Well, this is what happened from there. One.
Uh-oh.
I love a bullet point.
Bullet point one. Knocked on the door. Some slack-jawed kid answered. I see an older woman lying prone on the couch behind him. Right then, Rachel calls and tells me that she's running a little late, but make myself at home. She'll be there in a half an hour.
No.
Turns out-
Nightmare.
Who are these people?
Nightmare.
Turns
I do
out-
not want to be in your family's house without you. That is so uncomfortable.
Well, and this is their first date too.
Yeah.
So it's like,
First
first
real
of
date.
all, like I don't even know fucking you. I definitely don't know your tangents.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what is happening here?
Well, turns out Rachel lives with her aunts, 2 cousins, and some random girl. So, bullet point 2.
I don't even want to be on the elevator with people I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Like, I don't want to be
Truly.
stuck in a room waiting for a first date with people I don't know.
And you're going to cook
No.
with your family there at your house. It's fucking weird. Anyway,
No.
sitting in a rocking chair in the corner is a heavily pregnant woman with one hand gently rested on her belly, staring vacantly into space. Rachel shows up, makes me dinner. She heats up plain noodles, then dumps a shitload of Parmesan on top. Voila. She pours a glass of flat, warm root beer and then tops it off with some scotch she had hidden away. She said, "Oh, don't let the others know."
Don't let the others know.
It sounds like a horror
I was just
movie.
gonna say it feels like a horror movie starts.
No, my God.
I go to the bathroom and text my friend that I'm on a weird date, but then I'm all in and I'm gonna see how this plays out.
Do it for the plot.
Spend about 3 hours in the living room with these people. The aunt is flat on the couch the whole time. The pregnant girl never says anything. The cousin is cool. He's a good kid, probably 13 years old or so. The aunt keeps making vile sex jokes right in front of her son.
Is this Leatherface's family? Like, I feel like this is very...
It's a lot going on.
You know, like, what is happening in here?
Oh my God.
Talks about putting pop rocks in her underpants so she can achieve orgasm discreetly.
Ma'am. Oh my God.
I mean, I guess if you can't afford a vibrator, you make do.
Oh my God.
That is innovative.
Pop rocks aren't making do, ma'am. That is not.
Feels sticky. It feels like a yeast infection.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
It also feels aggressive.
Yeah.
I feel like that is one of the stories that you would hear at the emergency room.
Yes.
Like, you know, like it'd be one of those emergency room stories that you would tell. This woman put pop rocks on her vag and...
How do you even think to do that? That's like some fucking like, I don't know.
Well, you know, they used
My
to
brain
say-
doesn't work like that. That's very innovative.
When I was in
Like,
high school, they said like there was a thing where people would say to put pop rocks in your mouth and then
When you're blowing.
blowjob.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah,
I've heard
so
this
maybe
as well.
it's, you know, only one step away, really.
I never did. Okay.
I mean, I never did it.
I feel like
but
it. I never did it either. I do feel like it would be uncomfortable. Men
Doesn't-
sound off.
Doesn't sound good.
It doesn't sound
Have
like.
you done? I've only done the ice cube thing.
I've done the ice
I
cube
haven't
thing.
done that.
I
Does it
accidentally
feel
did
good?
the toothpaste thing, which
Oh.
apparently does not feel good.
No.
It burns.
No, it sounds like it burns.
It sounds
Yikes.
like it would burn. Yeah.
You're like, I had a hot pepper and then blew him. That was fun. Next bullet point. Finally, the aunt goes to bed. Rachel turns the lights off and we decide to watch a movie. The volume is so loud, it's hurting my ears. It's fucking blaring. The cousin kid is still there and the pregnant woman is next to the TV facing us staring.
no.
Oh no!
Cassie, oh my god. My heart just skipped a beat.
This feels like it.
It's
I don't
so
know why,
scary.
but it's giving. It's
It's giving
like
Stephen King novel. Yeah.
Yes.
100%. I'm unsettled.
Next bullet point. Rachel decides now is a good time to make out. Well, fuck it. So we're making out with
No.
two people watching us while this movie blares. Cousin kid was trying to make jokes and Rachel was like, mind your business, grow up. While we make out in the couch next to him. Ugh.
Oh my god! And this is
911.
this JD Vance's origin story?
Yeah. This is the plot.
That's why he's got a thing
behind
for couches.
Hillbilly Elegy.
Yes. I've never read the book.
Yeah, but I can only
so
assume.
Sounds. this is
Yeah.
It's going to take your
Canon
word
now.
for
I'm
it.
telling
yeah.
my kids this is Hillbilly Elegy, actually.
yes.
Next bullet point. We finally go to her bedroom, which has a mattress on the floor. Yada, yada, yada. She tells me I'm probably the one and starts reciting poetry to me.
Why are you still there? I feel like I would have checked out. I mean, I guess he did tell his friend that he was going to see where it went. So,
just, you know,
some
maybe she was
nights are
hot.
for adventure, I suppose.
I walk of shame past the cousin kid and pregnant girl while the movie still blares.
Can pregnant girl go to bed? I feel like she doesn't even want to be there. Like,
I know.
go to sleep.
Her woman's just dissociated in
Thinks
the
I hate
corner.
it. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's chaos.
Yeah.
Also, did not mean to skip over this, but root beer and scotch.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
How
that
old are they?
sounds.
Warm root beer and scotch.
That it does sound like something that you would do when you were like 19.
Ugh.
You know?
Yeah, that does sound like a young drink because scotch doesn't taste good until you've had enough hate in your heart for it to counterbalance
Yeah.
that.
Scotch.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. It's
something
true.
that you have to acquire.
Yes.
Life experience.
Not for the-
No one likes scotch at 19 by
Yeah.
itself.
No.
Ugh.
Oh man. Wow. Wowie wow. Well, you guys want to take 5 and then come back with the Tainted Love?
Sounds good.
Yes.
And we're back. Keegan.
We were just looking
Forgot
at
my role.
Cassie waiting
I
to
know.
start.
I forgot. I forgot my role. I forgot my
Line.
Yeah.
So this story, I kind of swore up and down that we'd done it before. I checked our spreadsheet. I put it in every way that it could possibly be put in. And we have not done it. I think it just sounds kind of like an amalgamation of several other stories that we have either told or are very familiar to us. So I am going to talk about Robert Spangler today.
I don't think I know this.
I bet you.
Maybe we should get in it.
Yeah, once I get into it. Okay. So on Easter Sunday, April 11th, 1993, 58-year-old aerobics instructor and mother of 5, Donna Spangler, is hiking in the Grand Canyon with her husband, Bob. So Donna is actually afraid of heights. She's not a really big fan of hiking. She actually has vertigo, so it's not something that she really enjoys doing. But Bob, as you will come to find out through the course of this story, is a hiking maniac, specifically in the Grand Canyon. He loves hiking in the Grand Canyon. And so...
okay, put a pin in this. Like, you're first dating. You're like, I have vertigo. I hate heights. He's like, my favorite thing in the world is the Grand fucking Canyon.
Hiking.
And like standing my tippy toes at the very edge. I feel like
How
that
do you keep going
like,
from that?
you know what?
Yeah.
Well, I will say...
divergent paths.
We will get to that later in the story. But she did do the thing that so many of us do in the beginning of a relationship. I don't think he made known the degree to which he was hiking obsessed in the beginning. And she was like, yeah, totally. I could go hiking. I like hiking. You know, it was that
this
kind
is
of
why
thing.
you can't do
Can't
that.
lie.
That's why you can't
This
do that. You
is
gotta
why.
Tell
just-
the truth.
We told that story that listener had, I think it was a listener who wrote in, who ended up on like that 12-mile hike or some shit. Oh no, it was her whole relationship. And now she was like, how do I get out of this? Because now I'm the hiking girl and I fucking don't like hiking. So it's hiking specifically.
Thoughts and prayers.
Anything physical.
Yeah.
If it's they like to run marathons, do not be like, I also like to run marathons if you don't.
I like watching people.
I like giving you orange slices when you finish.
I like
the marathon.
holding a sign that says "Run, Chad, run."
Yeah, that's
You
it.
know?
Yeah,
That's it. That's the end of my job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Water.
Yep.
Here you go.
But anyway, at this point, Bob does know that she is not a big hiking fan. They've been married for a little while at this point. So, but he's like, well, I really want to show you this part of the Grand Canyon. Like, let's go check it out. Things have been a little rocky. So she's like, okay, sure. She acquiesces. They go. He takes her to a cliff overlooking the Horseshoe Loop, which I looked up and is stunning, by the way. I've never been to the Grand Canyon, which is insane because I've spent so much of my life in the Southwest and driven by the Grand Canyon many times, but never like stopped to go. But the Horseshoe Loop is super, super gorgeous. And a lot of people stop to take pictures right there overlooking it. So according to Bob, he positions Donna on the edge. There's a 160. Yeah, I mean, and it sounds similar to others because there are unfortunately quite a lot of stories where men were. Yeah. So he puts he positions her on the edge. There's a 160-foot drop behind her. And then he goes to set up his tripod. He would later tell authorities that he heard Donna make a sound behind him, and when he turned around, she was gone.
Thingsthatneverhappened.com.
Around noon, Bob runs into the ranger station and says that there's been a terrible accident. His wife has fallen off the cliff. So the Rangers go down to the Horseshoe Mesa, where they ultimately find Donna's body on the rocks below. Oh. And during this year, the falling deaths in the Grand Canyon it was like the most deaths on record at that time. So there had been 6 other deaths that year prior to Donna's, and we're only in April. So that's quite a few deaths. And her death was ultimately ruled an accident with no foul play suspected. So what authorities didn't realize at that time was that this was not the first wife of Robert Spangler's to wind up tragically dead.
Interesting.
So let's rewind. Rewind the clock. Robert Spangler was born on January 10th, 1933 as a fellow Capricorn.
It's Dylan's birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He was born in Des Moines, Iowa. He later moved to Ames, Iowa, where he was said to have he was fairly normal, pretty popular, played sports, good looking, but he did have a bit of an unpredictable temper. And this was just kind of like a fun fact that I know, not fun, that sounds awful, but a fact that I learned about through reading several articles was there was one incident when Bob was in school where a fellow classmate that he did not like at all, they had butted heads a lot, had wound up dead at a sewer treatment facility. He was found drowned. And Bob disliked this kid to the point where authorities did actually bring him in and question him about it, because they were like, everybody knows you don't like this kid, so did you do anything to him? But he was never arrested. I don't know if, I'm assuming that death was just ruled a suicide or a accident. While in high school, Bob met a girl named Nancy Stallman through a journalism club at their school. It wasn't his. They dated throughout high school and into college, where they both attended Iowa State. And it doesn't look like Nancy completed college, but Bob went on to graduate with a degree in technical journalism. After graduation, the two married and Bob joined the Army. He was stationed in New York, where he and Nancy lived for a few years before relocating to Minneapolis. And while there, they welcomed a son named David. And then the three moved back to New York for a time, where Bob worked in TV production, helping to develop a children's show. Does anyone want to guess? 1970s children's show.
Captain Kangaroo.
Captain Kangaroo. Yeah.
Yeah. It was actually probably more like the late 60s. Sesame Street.
Oh. What?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And while living in New York, they welcomed their second child, a daughter named Susan. So his job often took him out of state. And during one of his trips, he fell in love with Colorado. He was a real outdoorsy type. So eventually he moved the entire family to Littleton, which is a town just south of Denver. Those who knew the couple said that Nancy doted on Bob and their children. She always put Bob's needs ahead of her own. She didn't really have he wanted to move to Colorado, so the family moved to Colorado. Like everything she did was really him. In service. Yeah, was about him. And he was described by people who knew him as egotistical and self-important. In 1976, Bob hired a new administrative assistant named Sharon Cooper. Sharon was 19 years Bob's junior. She was 24 at the time she started. But that didn't stop him from doing the most stereotypical thing a middle-aged man can do, which is to start an affair. So Nancy soon discovered the affair, and Bob moved out of the family home. He's like, peace, later days. And he moves into Sharon's. He lived with Sharon for about a year. And during that time, he pretty much cut off most contact with his children. So those who knew Bob are like, well, we don't even think he liked his kids all that much.
Right.
He thought, they weren't well behaved. David he had long hair. He was in a band. And Susan was bringing boys home who he didn't approve of. And Sharon didn't like kids. She was not maternal. And she especially was like not interested in having teenagers in her house. So he was just like, I guess I just won't be a father for a year. Yeah.
But also, this is like the I hope he was sending money or something, because
I would think he was, because Nancy did stay in that house, but who knows? By October of 1978, things had started to sour with Sharon. She was said to have mood swings and a temper, and things were really volatile at home. And then they leaked over to being volatile in the office as well. So everyone in the office obviously knew what was going on between Bob and Sharon. He was living with her, he left his wife, and they would have fights in the office, and she would throw things at him in the office, which can you imagine the way I would be just, vacuuming the grass? Fucking.
I would always be getting coffee.
Always. Yeah.
Just overflowing coffee and my...
You'd be like, do you guys want to meet after work and talk about this? Go get drinks at the local.
Oh my God, totally.
Yes. So Bob, at that point, because he's like, I just can't handle Sharon anymore, he moves back into the family home. But at this point, Nancy, she developed some independence, some self-worth. She had gone back to school. She'd gotten her degree. She was going to start, she was eager to start a job in PR. And she had written a letter home to her family just before Christmas telling them that, like, you know, Bob's really working on himself. We're hoping to repair our marriage. Like, I am going to start this job. She was really looking forward to the future. So, okay, I'm also going to go ahead and pause here and give content warnings for, you know, obviously there's murder later in this story. There's lots of talk of suicide. So if that's stuff that is triggering to you or difficult for you, please tap out now. On the morning of December 30th, 1978, Susan's 16, some said he was 16, some said he was 15, but either way, her boyfriend, Tim, comes by the family home. He often did. He'd been there the night before. So he knocks on the front door and no one answers. He goes, he throws rocks at Susan's window, but she doesn't come to the window to let him in. So he does what he's done, you know, many times before. He goes to the laundry room and goes in through the window in the laundry room. So he goes into Susan's room. He sees that she's still sleeping. So he goes to wake her up. And he finds that she has been shot in the back and appears to be dead. So then he runs across the hallway to her big brother, David's room, and he finds David slumped half on, half off the bed, and he has been shot in the chest. So Tim calls the police, and when the Arapahoe Sheriff's Office arrives, they find 45-year-old Nancy Spangler's body in the basement with a wound to her forehead. And next to her body, they find a .38 caliber handgun with a men's sock wrapped around the handle. She's slumped over a typewriter, and there's a typewritten suicide note, and it's signed with her initial.
Sure.
Now, that obviously sounds super suspicious, but Nancy did have a neurological disorder. So she did oftentimes type her letters and then just sign them with her initial. So it didn't seem that out of the ordinary for her to have done this. Like, a lot of the letters that she would send home to family were typewritten. So they were like, okay, like, that's not so unusual. So Bob gets home from work.
What is unusual is her killing her family and herself.
Yes.
That feels unusual.
Yes. So Bob gets home from work and his house is crawling with police, and he's acting, you know, he's really distraught. He tells police that, yes, the couple had been having some issues. They had separated for a time, but they were working through some things. And he says, you know, we had a fight last night. And Tim was able to corroborate that because he had been there the night before. And it was later on, it was like really apparent that Bob was picking fights with Nancy, especially in front of people, so that they could kind of like corroborate her mental state and the state of their marriage, basically. So he says that he had left the night before to cool off after an argument, and he had not been home. He went straight to the office that morning, and he says that Nancy knew where he kept his gun. And when police look in the closet where the gun is usually kept on a high shelf, they see that there's a step stool placed beneath it. So like that lines up, and they swab both his and Nancy's hands for gunshot residue. When the gunshot residue tests come back, they find that there is no gunshot residue on Nancy's hands, but there is residue on Bob's palm.
Interesting.
So at this point, he changes his story. He now says that actually he did come home. Actually, I did come home.
Well, you know what? Actually,
I slipped my mind. Totally forgot. I came home. I went down into the basement. He says that he saw the gun and was like, what's this doing here? So he picks up the gun, and that's when he sees Nancy's body slumped over the typewriter, and he says that he screamed, oh my God, and ran out of the house at that point, and then didn't come back until later.
Interesting.
You're immediately under arrest if I'm the cop.
Yeah. You know what? Vibes are bad.
Yeah.
But they're very suspicious of Bob, obviously.
Apparently not suspicious enough for him to have had another wife.
Well, they don't have enough to charge him, really, because I mean, like,
why do a GSR then?
True, but I mean, it's not beyond a reasonable doubt, right? Like that, it's like, okay, the story he's telling is suspicious, but doesn't mean it's not true. He could have come home and touched the gun or whatever. And like they had a handwriting expert analyze her initial at the end of that note, and they're like, yeah, that's her initial, so she wrote this note or whatever.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like he had a gun to her head, forcing her to do that.
Probably.
Totally.
Yeah.
Or maybe she, kept some already signed. Like anything is possible, right? So Nancy's family is like, there's absolutely no way that she would have killed herself. Like she was looking forward to the future, and she definitely wouldn't have killed her children.
Her kids, right?
There's just no way. So they're like, you have to keep looking into Bob. And so they do give Bob 2 separate polygraph tests done by 2 separate examiners. And both of them come back inconclusive. And one of the polygraph conductors was like, he's so, like, the way he is, he's so high strung, we're not going to get a clear read on this guy. Like, we're not going to get a clear read. And then the other thing, which was kind of an interesting tidbit, was, so when he came home, obviously his house is a crime scene. So the crime scene photographer, this is kind of like a small town, everybody knows everyone, he's well known in the community. So the crime scene photographer is like, why don't you just come home with me? Like, you're in shock. Like, just come home with me and stay the night at my house until we can figure out when to get you back into your house or whatever. So Bob is acting really, really distraught at the crime scene. But when he goes home with the crime scene photographer is like, it was nothing. Like, he had no emotion. He didn't seem upset at all. It's not just his wife, like his children have been murdered. His entire family is gone. And nothing. Just seemed like he turned it off as soon as he got home with him. So he's like, that was really fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's just psychopath behavior, right? Where you can't give a psychopath a fucking polygraph test.
Right.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I mean, they're not even allowed
Admissible.
in court anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is the point?
So on January 3rd, 1979, the Arapahoe County coroner rules the deaths a murder-suicide committed by Nancy Spangler. Bob immediately has the bodies cremated, of course, as soon as they're released to him. And since this case is now considered closed, all of the evidence that authorities have in custody is either destroyed or released back to Bob. Days after Bob was cleared of the murders, Sharon Cooper moves into the house where it happened, and the couple soon have a yard sale where a lot of the items, most of the items for sale were Nancy's belongings. And the neighbors are obviously like, this is fucking weird.
It's not okay.
No.
Yeah. The neighbors are like, this is fucking so bananas. 7 months after the murders of his entire family, Bob marries Sharon, and the two take a motorcycle trip to the West Coast for their honeymoon, stopping to hike in the Grand Canyon. And this would be the first of many hiking trips in this area for Bob, many of which were with Sharon. I keep calling her Shannon. Sorry, Sharon. And she would even go on to write a book called On Foot in the Grand Canyon about the hiking trails in the area. And it was like for a hiking trail guide. I guess it was a really popular book. Yeah, so you can still find that, Sharon Spangler. In 1986, Bob made a trip back home to Ames, Iowa to visit his father, Merlin. Merlin had he was old, I think he was in his late 80s, early 90s, but he had been healthy, completely healthy. But shortly after Bob arrives back, he takes a fall and ultimately dies.
Bob, what the fuck, dude? You're like a serial killer.
Bob inherits all of his father's assets, allowing him to retire early.
Convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sharon, who again had suffered from mood swings, she had been put on medication. In one of the things that I watched, they said that she probably would be diagnosed as bipolar today, but she was manic depressive. And that, it was kind of up and down. Again, as we always say, not everybody who suffers from bipolar disorder or any mental illness is going to be violent. But her behavior did become more and more erratic in the late 80s. And at one point, she ran into a grocery store saying that her husband had taken her car keys and wouldn't let her leave. And when police were called, she told them that her husband was, quote, trying to get me. The couple would divorce the following year, and Sharon got $150,000 settlement, and she received a monthly alimony payment. And Bob was apparently very resentful of this. So after his divorce from Sharon, he finally sells the house. They lived in that house this entire time. So he finally sells this house. He buys a smaller house in Denver, and then he puts a personal ad in the paper and is contacted by a woman named Donna Sunling. So Donna was 2 years younger than Bob and had been previously married and divorced in 1974. Their first date went well, but like I said, Donna was like, yeah, sure, love hiking, would love to go hiking with you. Sounds good. You know, she was trying to impress him on this first date. Again, like I said earlier, the truth was Donna was terrified of hiking, but she was like, yeah, this is your thing. Fantastic. Who among us hasn't done something dumb to impress a man?
The boy. Yeah.
And I guess they did go hiking before they got married, and it didn't go super, super well, but Donna had just had a knee injury. And so Bob just chalked it up to like, oh, she had hurt her leg, and, you know, it'll be better next time we go. The two married at Donna's home in 1990. Though Donna did not want to leave her neighborhood where she was well established and much of her family lived, Bob, being Bob, insisted that the couple move to Durango, Colorado, where Bob would be closer to the Grand Canyon. So Donna took a job as a fitness instructor, and Bob worked as a radio DJ for a local country music station. And he was pretty popular around town. People thought he was charismatic. He was like his boss loved him. People seemed to really like him. They had like a great thing going. She was this like lively woman in her 50s who was an aerobics instructor. People who worked with Bob knew that his family had died tragically. That eventually did come up, that his first family had died tragically. But he would tell different things to different people about how his family had died. So he told some that Susan, his daughter, had died of a drug overdose, that David had died in a car accident, and then Nancy, who was stricken with grief because of this, killed herself. And then he told some that the whole family had died in a car accident while he was at work. And then he told some that the family died in a car accident while he was in the car and he was the only survivor. So people are comparing stories and they're like, what?
Something's off.
The arrogance to do that, you know?
Yeah.
To think you could get away with that. So after a few years with Donna, Bob picked up that Donna really did not like hiking. She certainly did not share his obsessive love for the Grand Canyon.
So go by yourself, you effing weirdo. Who cares?
Jeez. But once he knew this, he like completely lost interest in being with Donna. He's like, never mind, actually. Okay. So their relationship began to fall apart. They were fighting more and more. And that is when he convinced Donna to take one more trip to the Grand Canyon. And she wants to heal their marriage. She wants to try and make it work. So she's like, maybe this is the thing.
Like, I got to suck it up and hike with this dude.
Yeah, maybe
and
we put a camera up there.
Bob is thinking, like, Sharon is... I don't want to pay all this money and have what happened to Sharon. Like,
So back to the beginning of the story. She falls. When questioned, Bob tells authorities that he ran down to, because when they find Donna's body, she is covered with a tarp. And so he says he ran down to her body after she fell, washed some blood off of her face, and then covered her with that tarp. And that is when he ran off to get help. Now, when he arrives at the ranger station, his wife has just fallen 160 feet. He arrives at the ranger station. He waits patiently in line behind people getting their permit to go hiking. Waits his turn to tell them that, hey, my wife fell off the mountain.
Hey, by the way, guys, Just FYI, no big deal. Whenever
Take
you
your
guys
time. Whenever you're ready, finish your lunch. So he tells the story about Donna falling when he went to take her picture and said that she, wasn't an experienced hiker. She was feeling dizzy that day. They found a prescription for vertigo medication with her things. So they're like, sure. Okay. The autopsy report concluded, this is so upsetting, that she sustained massive injuries, including abrasions, contusions, lacerations, and multiple fractures of the neck, chest, and lower extremities. So the coroner found that any number of those things could have been the thing that killed her. He couldn't pinpoint the thing that actually caused her death. And so there were no outward signs of foul play. He concluded that the death was accidental. So Bob went home and announced his wife's death on his radio show. He took calls from listeners who were sorry for his loss. They showered him with condolences, right?
It's fucking weird, dude.
The fucking audacity.
As somebody who just lost someone, that's
just
weird.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
During the time Bob was married to Donna, he and Sharon, his second wife, had stayed in touch. She fell on some hard financial times, and he agreed to rent a room in his Durango house out to Sharon, and she moved in with him in 1994.
Girl.
Man,
Molly, you in danger.
In October of that year, Bob came home to find a note on Sharon's door that read, "I've done it this time." And when he entered, he found her dead next to an empty bottle of prescription pills.
Wow.
And a note that just happened to read what an amazing and supportive friend Bob had been to her. And that this, she knew that he always wanted one of his wives to have a happy life. And for her, this was a happy ending.
Okay.
Yuck.
Now, there is some evidence to suggest that she may have taken her own life. She had struggled a lot with mental illness all of her life. She had fallen on really hard times. Her dog had just died. Her father had just died. And she was in the midst of a depressive episode. But given Bob's track record and that he received $20,000 in life insurance payouts at the time of her death.
And stopped having to pay alimony, I'm sure.
Yeah. You have to wonder. So the death was ruled a suicide and never investigated by law enforcement. However, Sharon's death, whether it was a suicide or not, it's finally what raised suspicions enough for law enforcement to be like, okay.
People are like,
at this point, seriously?
What the fuck is happening?
People just keep dropping dead around this guy. We got to look into it. So a detective from the Coconino Sheriff's Department became aware of all of these deaths, and he was like, nah. So he started looking into the case. He starts asking around with friends and family of all three women and finds that Bob had been telling different stories to different people about what had happened. He also finds the evidence, especially on the deaths of his first wife and children, to be really conflicting and suspicious.
Yeah.
So he calls Bob in for a chat. He's like, we just got to clear some things up. Or I guess he doesn't call him in. He goes to his house. So he shows up at his house, and Bob is calm. He's answering all the questions. Even if his current answers contradict what he said in the past, but he's being super chill until the investigator asks Bob to take a polygraph test. And then he becomes extremely agitated. He starts hyperventilating and saying that polygraph tests bring up a stressful time. They bring up that stressful time after Nancy killed their kids. And so he refuses to take a polygraph test. By 1998, Bob was using the internet to find women online, which is just like, Jesus, dude, maybe just stay single, right?
Maybe
like all these women just keep falling below your expectations. Just,
stay alone.
Look inward,
Yeah.
So he starts talking to a woman from Pennsylvania online. They hit it off so much so that Bob quits his job at the radio station to move to Pennsylvania to be with her. There's only one little thing, though. He didn't tell her he was doing that. So he shows up at her house with all his shit and is like, knock, knock, knock. I'm here to live with you.
No.
Surprise
roommate.
to her credit, she was like, absolutely the fuck not.
Thank you. Thank God.
She's like, go home. So he, tucks his tail between his legs, goes back to Colorado, where he settles in Grand Junction. And this is where he meets another woman named Judy and begins dating her.
Come on.
Right, sir. Just retired. Take up golf or something. What Bob didn't know at this time was that the authorities in Littleton, Durango, and the Grand Canyon, along with the FBI, had been tracking his movements. So they couldn't find any solid evidence against Bob, though they were sure that he was involved in the deaths of Nancy, David, Susan, and Donna, and possibly the death of Sharon as well. But they needed a confession because they had already given away a lot of the evidence from the first 3 deaths, and they just didn't have anything to go on. In August of 2000, they learned that Bob had been diagnosed with terminal lung cancer as well as brain lesions. And they were like, this is our chance. We're going to get Bob to come clean about these murders. By this time, Bob and Judy had married.
Oh, Jesus.
So if your first 3 wives have died mysteriously,
Judy. Hello.
Yeah.
Don't risk it. So their strategy was to use Bob's ego against him. When they called him into the police station in September of 2000.
Yeah, sounds like a narcissist.
They set it up to have officers running and agents rummaging through boxes of files. They put a sign on the door that read Spangler Task Force on it. And initially, Bob tried telling the same stories he'd been telling all along. But every time he got a detail wrong, there would be someone in the room to be like, actually, like correcting him on what he was saying. So he slowly began to realize like, oh, this is more serious this time. They know more. So he asks for the night. This is crazy to me. He asks for the night to discuss everything with his new wife, Judy. And authorities are like, sure, take the evening.
No, somebody go check on Judy. Jesus Christ.
Oh
He's
my
got
God.
a terminal illness. He's a narcissist.
Nothing to lose.
What is wrong with these fucking
I don't know.
cops?
They let him go home. So luckily, Judy, spoiler, she's okay.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God.
Yes. He comes back the next morning. He returns to the station and he's like, okay, but I want to talk to an FBI profiler.
Okay.
Because he's fucking, yeah.
Oh.
After a few hours, Bob admitted that he killed Nancy, David, and Susan and framed it to look like a murder-suicide. He just comes clean about that.
Yeah. Surprise,
He also
surprise.
revealed, and this is horrible, that while Susan died right away from her gunshot wound, David, who was shot in the chest, initially, he was 17 years old. He initially survived the gunshot wound, and he fought his dad fiercely before Bob finally placed a pillow over his son's face to suffocate him. He was still insisting that Donna's death on the Grand Canyon was an accident, and it was only when investigators told him that he would only be allowed to meet with a profiler if he told them the truth about her murder that he came clean, admitting that he pushed Donna off the cliff at the Grand Canyon.
Wow.
He did continue to refuse any part in the death of Sharon, though. He insists that Sharon killed herself.
Okay. I
When
believe
asked-
nothing he says anymore.
No, you can't. When asked why he killed, Bob stated, it was easier than divorce.
Okay.
As part of his deal with authorities, this is crazy to me too. As part of his deal with authorities, Bob was allowed a 30-day grace period before his sentence began to get his affairs in order and go to the Grand Canyon one last time. Can you
The
fucking
audacity.
imagine? Like, Judy remained by his side, telling authorities that she knew Bob had murdered others, but she believed he had changed.
Okay. All right.
Oh, no.
I know he murdered his other wives, but I'm different.
I'm
Special.
different.
I'm special.
I can fix him.
I can fix him. Upon being formally arrested in October of 2000, Bob initially pleaded not guilty. Can you imagine? I give you a
Bro,
30-day
sir.
grace period and you roll up in here and you're like, not guilty.
And you confessed.
Well, they suspect that his defense team was going to use his brain lesions to be like,
well, you've breathed lesions your whole life,
whatever. But eventually he was like, never mind. He changes his plea. He takes a deal. So he pleaded guilty to the first-degree murder of Donna and publicly admits to the murders of Nancy and his children. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He died of cancer in prison the following year at the age of 68. So he lived his whole fucking life.
Yeah.
Got to live his whole life just murdering people left and right, and only spent less than a year in prison.
That's fucking insane.
But he's dead now. So that is the banana story of Robert Spangler.
Wow.
Man, the audacity. It's so frustrating. I think that's part of the reason why this year in particular is so difficult, is that when you see such unmitigated evil, like around,
and people just getting away with it,
there's no consequences. It weighs on your soul in a very heavy and real way.
Yeah,
and that's just like, that story is just so emblematic, I think, of what is feeling right now, at least for me anyways, that just grave sense of injustice that, it's what a waste of lives. And then there's great. All right. He got cancer and he died. He spent a year in prison. But
I mean, and meanwhile, like I am glad for Nancy's, but I'm glad for Nancy's family that her name got cleared in the end. You know, I'm happy that did happen, that they got that in before, and for Donna's family that, he was convicted of her death and they got that in before he died. However, it's like, he cut all these lives short. His children were 15 and 17. He cut all these lives short. Yep. Meanwhile, he got to go do what he loved, hike the Grand Canyon, be a famous radio celebrity in his local town, get married several times. Like, it's so unfair. It's so unjust.
Wow.
Oh, well, thank you for telling. It sounded familiar, but I don't think I knew it. Familiar with the story. So thanks for sharing.
You're welcome. It's like a bunch of different it feels like a little John Listy, but a little like that one guy who pushed his wife off the cliff. Like, it's a little bit of everything, kind of, sadly.
Wow.
Dude, I wonder if there's like a podcast out there, but I think I've read somewhere the amount of murders and disappearances in our national parks is like
probably
bonkers.
So many.
There is. I think there's a park one specifically. Like something about parks.
I would bet so.
Yeah, I can't remember the name
so.
of it, but
it's not a podcast.
So
there's
many.
There's definitely an ID.
Podcast. Yeah.
Cleverly named ID show.
Yeah. There is a podcast about park deaths, national park, something or other. Yeah.
But that's such a bummer because I love a national park.
Me too.
So beautiful, but
yeah, very isolated. I mean, prime.
Yeah,
prime
and
space
in a sense of like Donna's things, unless he confessed, there be no.
How would you know?
How would you know? No proof. You know.
Yeah.
Well, what are you guys watching this week?
I am watching The Summer I Turned Pretty. I know I talked about it last week, but I'm absolutely obsessed.
I know you're loving it.
Oh, I'm like, there's 2 more episodes left, and they're just killing me.
I just feel so old. I'm like, I don't know. I'm in the right headspace to watch the youths fall in love. You know,
like, fuck your hope.
My sweet summer children.
I've had a really rough couple of weeks, so I've been on a rewatch. Is about all that I have the mental energy to deal with, and the rewatch is Silicon Valley.
Oh, nice.
Which I find to be a very funny show, knowing people that work within the tech industry and everything like that. I also love the guy that plays Jared, the really tall guy funny. That was from The Office. Just makes me laugh so much. And Kamal Nanjiani is great in it. And the guy that plays Guilfoyle that was from Party Down. It's just funny. It's light. It's silly.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's
poking fun too.
Is
which
Adam
Yes.
Scott in
Yeah.
this show?
No.
No. He's the one. He's in the other one that you guys watch.
Parks and Rec?
Parks and Rec.
No.
Severance.
Severance. Thank you. That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. Yeah. Sorry.
Very different vibe.
Yes,
Very different
obviously.
vibe.
Yeah.
I watched the Biggest Loser documentary series.
I want to see that. I have a client that was in that show.
Man, golly, it is what a time machine to go back to when we were so diet obsessed as a culture.
Yeah.
And it is such a look at the way it was, has been, and still is
Yeah.
so okay to just
This country, well, I think this world,
Yeah.
but it's just so fat phobic.
so fat phobic. Yeah.
And
just,
as somebody that has had weight swings, the world is a completely different place when you are thin. It truly is. People treat you differently. It is better, easier, everything when you are thin, and it's such a sad fact of our society. And even during the like whole body positivity phase that we went through, like Lizzo and everything, before Ozempic became a thing, when everyone was like, oh yeah, it was fake.
I saw Meghan Trainor recently, and like that, and no shame at all, because I do know that we've talked about this before. Like the world does treat you differently. I can't begrudge Lizzo or Oprah or Meghan Trainor or anybody for wanting to fit into this beauty ideal. But it is interesting because it is like, yeah, you've built your, career like all about that base. You know what I mean? Like you built your career on this thing. And of course, like when given the opportunity to be thin, like you take that opportunity. But it was an fascinating look back on a time when that show was marketed as very inspirational, and I think to some degree maybe it was, but it was also, especially in the beginning, so
fucking unhealthy,
and so like point at the like we're just gonna watch. We're having them do things that are humiliating.
Yeah.
Well, and it also just reinforced that whole point of view, which is absolutely inaccurate. That like if you are overweight, it's
your
because
fault.
you're lazy.
Yes.
It's your fault.
Yeah, and they have the doctor who was on that show for all the seasons because they had to have a doctor on staff, and they had him. They were interviewing him, and he's like, "Yeah, I kept trying to tell them." Like, you can't do it this way. You can't have your contestants working out for 8 hours a day and eating 800 calories. Like,
It's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable, and it's not safe. Like, you're going to drop a ton of weight really fast. And we were all amazed when we were like, oh my God, that person lost 250 pounds in 6 months.
Oh, it's magic.
It's amazing. They just worked really hard.
If you just work really hard and like pull up your bootstraps, you'll.
And then a lot of them gain the weight back. They're being interviewed now on this show, and you know they've got the weight gain back. So it
not
was
sustainable. Yeah,
fascinating though. So if it's something that you're kind of like interested in, and you were maybe alive at that time, I watched The Biggest Loser. I remember. That,
what a wild time for TV. Like
was.
The Apprentice too
Truly.
is the reason why we have this stupid situation we're in. The reality TV, man. We're all living in its consequences.
Yeah.
Anywho, if you've got a reality show you want to skewer to us, if you have a terrible date story, I don't know, if you just want to say hi and get a hug, go to our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com, and we love you so much. Cheers.
Cheers.